Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this video a bit after 1:30 on the afternoon of Friday, 20th of December, 2024, North American Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to do a rundown of various scores in games involving Canada's NBA, NHL, and PWHL teams, not necessarily in that order. So first, I'm going to talk about the Raptors. Obviously, a rather ugly fourth quarter meant the difference between winning and losing. Well, 31-18, the Brooklyn Nets having outscored the Raptors. Next game for the Raptors will be on Sunday Eastern Time at home to Houston Rockets before a game in Manhattan against the local Knicks squad. So it'll be very interesting, for that last game the Raptors play before Western Christmas Day has arrived on the shores of North America. Go to games I partly watched, but there were so many games on. The Raptors and various Canadian NHL teams in action. So the Minnesota Frost having frozen out, figuratively speaking, the Ottawa Charge 5-2 with an empty netter late in the game by Grace Zumwinkle from Claire Thompson at the 18-19 mark. But even if it had been, well, it was kind of almost pretty much beyond doubt. The Ottawa Charge weren't going to come back, were not likely to come back with the last goal from the Ottawa Charge from Teresa Vanishova, from Daniel Serdachny, and Jinsey Rose. 5:28 into the third, so no coming back. And I believe the next game on the PWHL calendar involving any Canadian team will be between the Scepters and Montreal Victoire at Coca-Cola Coliseum, home of the AHL's Toronto Marlies. So PWHL NBA games out of the way involving Canadian teams, and well, neither the Ottawa Charge nor Raptors played particularly well. But the Raptors, it was a close game. Between the Minnesota Frost and Ottawa Charge, not so much. Hockey, there are fewer goals scored than points in NBA games. So just to recap, what was the Raptors? It was 101-94. So I'm just gonna go with the box score just to recap there. See which Raptors end up contributing at least double-digit points. So you have Scotty Barnes with 16, Ochai Agbaji with 20, and Grady Dick with 19. Off the bench, the Raptors scored, what is there? 11. The Raptors scored 24 off the bench. The Brooklyn Nets scored 17, 34, 41 points off the bench. Pretty impressive. Yeah. The Raptors' bench has been rather consistent. Bench scoring is kind of like in the NHL depth scoring. So now to go to various games around the NHL involving teams. So what I'm going to do is down the order which is displayed on the ESPN page. Sens having outlasted the Flames 3-2 in OT. With Brady Tkachuk having scored the game winner in that game over at the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Oilers squeaked out a win over the Bruins in overtime. For a come from behind win for having allowed 2 goals against the Bruins in the first period. And now I'm going to go to the Canucks Golden Knights game, and that was definitely a heartbreaker. Yeah, so it was a mixed bag on the faceoffs. Well, among players on the Canucks who took at least 2, with JT Miller having gone 6 for 9, Elias Pettersson having gone 7 for 10. But Teddy Bluger, despite having scored, having gone just 2 for 7 on faceoffs. Wow. If that's not good. Pia Suter having put up a -1, went 2 for 11 in the face-off dot. Forget how many. Forget what the face-offs were like in terms of the team stats, but if they're kind of in the middle, I won't be too surprised because it was a mixed bag for the Canucks. So let's just see here. Oh, yeah. It was close, yeah. 19 of 39 face-offs, so kind of even. The face-off win percent, yeah, it definitely looks like, yeah, definitely was even. No team scored a special teams goal. Well, the only goal that wasn't scored at even strength was an empty netter. But to be fair, the Canucks had lost that game even before empty netters. It was a close game throughout much of it. But again, 8:15 into the first period, that was it. Teddy Blueger from Kiefer Sherwood and Danton Heinen. And that was pretty much it for the Canucks. Never got anything going. Penalties were kind of light as well. There were only 3 penalties called throughout the game. Where is it? All of them single minors. Canucks had 2 power plays. The Golden Knights won. Yeah. Yes. The goal that won the game was from William Karlsson, assisted by Brett Howden. And that would be it. It was a close game until the very, very end, with Brett Howden himself having scored an empty netter, assisted by former Flame Noah Hanifin. So yeah, so I'm going to get to reaction videos for that game from the Canberra Canucks, Legarox99, and Diener HD YouTube men. No doubt all of them claim to have given the Canucks this for their performance. No doubt whatsoever. The Canucks just never got anything going. And it showed. With Diener HD having claimed that the Canucks had a team in pretty much full health, aside from defenseman Filip Hronek, out due to a long-term injury series till sometime in February or so. And the Canucks are in a precarious position in the standings as of games that ended by Friday, by Friday morning Eastern time. The Canucks had fallen into a tie with the Avs on points so far this regular season with 38, with the Canucks having played 2 fewer games than the Avs, 32 for the Canucks, 34 for the Avs. Either case, though, the Flames just 1 point out. Utah Hockey Club, 3 points out. With the Blues and Kraken, 5 and 6 protected points out. Still very tight in the wildcard standings, even with the Kraken having slumped over the last 10 games with just 9 points. So yeah, but the Canucks could very well fall out, and it's going to be interesting to find out what happens, because there's no question whatsoever that these Canucks have just not played all that well, not played great. You're thinking, the Canucks have played well. Canucks have just 4 points fewer than the Leafs. Well, the difference is the Leafs have 20 wins and 2 extra time losses over 32 games, while the Canucks have 38, 4 fewer points, and are in the precarious position that they find themselves. Leafs have a 4-point lead over the Bruins for a top 3 Atlantic Division spot. Canucks aren't even in a top 3 divisional spot. that are in danger of falling out. So yes, given the Canucks' poor play or inconsistent play, I give them a 50-50 chance of seeing playoff action. Anyone who claims the Canucks have higher than the 50-50 chance of seeing playoff action this season should understand inconsistent, streaky play has justified my classification. Calgary Flames may very well see playoff action, but again, they haven't exactly done great over the last 10 games. So on that note, I'm going to turn to games that are scheduled to take place on Friday Eastern Time. It's going to that involve Canadian NHL teams with the Raptors and all three Canadian PWHL teams out of action, and the Raptors G League affiliate out of action until sometime next week. So have the Leafs in a away game against the Sabres, the Habs in an away game against the Wings in the early Eastern Time games, and that is pretty much it. There will be on Saturday Eastern Time a more complete slate of games. Probably even more games. Have aside from the Montreal Charge, Toronto Raptors game in the afternoon Eastern Time. It'll be late in the afternoon. Have Flames hosting the Blackhawks and the Oilers hosting the Sharks. We have the Leafs hosting the Isles and the Habs hosting the Wings in the early Eastern Time games, and then as well as the Winnipeg Jets hosting the Minnesota Wild, and then in the very late game, the Canucks hosting the Sens. So, if you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing for more content about Canadian hockey, soccer, and basketball teams. I cover mostly those that are NBA, NBA G League, NHL, and PWHL, but I definitely look forward to the arrival of the Toronto Tempo into the WNBA scene starting in the spring of 2026 when it is in the Northern Hemisphere. So on that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to get on with my afternoon and see where the rest of it goes.